Is not what it's made to be. No, just say you won't let go, 'cause my bones can't keep taking this. And I think you should know just how long I've been faking it. These walls are caving in. I can use some saving. score, I don't know, but I'm trying to figure this out on my own. Take me to paradise and call me back home. Make me feel young again as I'm growing old. There's some things you can't control, but I think I know a thing or two about love, 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 love. They see it when you need it, and they give it when you don't.
I am really indecisive. So last night I had a moment where I wasn't sure about the raw pine look anymore. So I decided to try out a stain. And I did this walnut oil. I really liked it on this small piece. It gave this very rusticy vintage look. But then when I tried it on a longer board, I don't know. I don't know if the board is just a low grade, so the stain is like really not great. To be fair, I didn't sand this either, but I'm not sure how much good that would have done. That there's just so many knots that make the wood look very, very busy. So I think I'm just gonna keep to this plain pine look for now, and then in future when I get sick of it, I can always try staining it again or painting it. And yeah, there's still a lot of possibilities if I don't do anything to it now. I just need to remind myself that this doesn't have to be forever. I can always change it up. It doesn't have to be perfect now.
Something that makes us complete when we finally see.
Oh my god. I cannot get it open. This is supposed to go on here to make an overhead tripod.
Here with the sun on our backs, it's all we need. Together with hearts intertwined.
hate it. So it's almost done. I am missing a few knobs that I've ordered. Yeah, I hate it. I think it's because in my initial plan, I was supposed to put them side by side over here, but then the layout didn't work out, so I stacked them, and then it's very weird to have like 4 rows on top but 6 rows at the bottom. It just doesn't work. I hate the color too. I tried to be brave and to be different, but no, I hate the color. I think they would work separately. Just imagine this with another full row. They will look like those vintage lockers and have some character, but together they just don't work. I think I have 2 options. The first one is to try to remove the panels that I glue over here and make them 4 rows instead of 6 so they don't look so weird together, but that doesn't solve the issue of it being blocky. The second option is to just take this top one, because I actually like how the top one looks, and then mount it onto the wall and also paint it brown. I know I wanted to avoid painting everything in our apartment brown, but I mean, Pet likes brown. I love brown. Brown's okay. Pet's out tonight for dinner, so I can't ask his opinion either. So I guess I should just slowly think about it, maybe sleep on it, and decide tomorrow, maybe? Oh. Somewhere here. Okay. It's 9 p.m. and everything's painted. Can't do anything else, so I'm gonna rest for the night. Continue tomorrow.
perking. And there I've been standing on the sidelines, waiting till the time's right to make you mine. 'Cause ever since the first time you opened up my world, I just can't seem to close my eyes and sleep. I'm locked inside this daydream, don't need any saving. But I need you to wake me